Peach is a cool Mario character, and I'm tired of being made fun of gone wrong. You know what? The title's intrigued me. I'll be honest. The title's intrigued me. John the Echidna. Take it away, brother. How is Peach anything but woman slop, okay? Tell me how this works.
Okay, so some quick context before we go into this. Back when I was making
what's the
Super Mario
context?
Odyssey video, I was originally going to bring up my thoughts.
You didn't want to have to make this video. I don't usually get involved in drama. Is that the context? Come on.
How the game ended and how it reflects the current progressing character arc of Princess Peach, if there even is one. But I ended up holding back for two reasons. One, I figured I could use that talking point for its own video, which is the one you're watching right now.
No,
where I could put my thoughts more clearly
No
and
way.
didn't feel very out of place. And two, that video was originally made for a collab where my time limit was basically 5 minutes.
Fuck the collab.
I didn't want to edit all that.
Fuck the collab.
Anyway,
Fuck
the
that
world would
guy.
be better off if girls were more like Princess Peach.
Yeah? How so?
I'm not elaborating yet. That's how we're starting this video.
Okay. Lay on me.
I think Princess Peach is pretty cool. I've said before that Donkey Kong is my favorite Nintendo character, if not one of my favorite characters in general. But Princess Peach is my favorite Mario character, if that makes any sense.
Who's my favorite Nintendo character? Have I ever thought about that for more than 2 seconds? I'm gonna go Samus. Samus is my favorite Nintendo character. Because I've played Metroid.
Okay.
While I'll admit my love for her is a lot more recent than most of my other favorites, it's come from my own revelation about her. Who Princess Peach is, what kind of character I want her to be, and the wonders she could do if people saw it the way I do. I'm not entirely on board with the way Nintendo depicts her now.
I love Kratos. My favorite is Ridley. Link, specifically Ocarina of Time Link. Not Miles McKenzie. He's up there, trust me. I love Kirby. My favorite is tied with Blooper and Kirby. Blooper specifically. Keep an eye on him, champ. Ganondorf, Olimar. I like Sonic. It's not a Mario character. Parabiddy I fuck with Antasma. Dream Team. I had to think about who that was for a second. Kirby and Vivian. A lot of people love Vivian. I wonder why. Luigi's a close second. Vivian again. Loads of Vivians. Morshu. He's a good shout.
Nowadays, sometimes it works for me, and other times it just doesn't feel like the same character. But why is that? What's making Nintendo so decisive on what they want Princess Peach to do? And why do I care so much? She's the most boring princess out of the three. I waste my breath. Well, I'd like to shed some light on a certain point of view. I don't think Princess Peach is boring at all. In fact, I would like to say personally that Princess Peach is the most interesting princess out of the three.
Really?
I said personally, not objectively. Get your hands away from that keyboard. I see you.
I'll save the slurs for later.
We're gonna burn that bridge when we get to it, I promise.
Okay. The floor's yours. Convince me.
First of all, I think it's important to
Go
remind
on.
everyone that video games weren't always made the same as they are nowadays. Graphics were more strict and limiting. Content had to be repetitive and cruel to justify hours spent on a game compared to the budget spent. When you hear that they used to charge $50 for a game like Super Mario Bros., it tickles your balls a little bit. The game has clunky controls, cruel level design, and gives you next to no. It tickles your balls a little bit.
Yeah? Is that how you feel? Yeah? Honestly, I feel the same way.
The game has clunky controls, cruel level design, and gives you next to no breathing room. Who would pay $50 for that? Growing up playing this on Daddy's collection of NES games was difficult for the average player that was me at 8 years old, but I couldn't complain too much. It was either that or playing Kirby's Adventure or whatever else was on that pen drive.
And what did he need so Mari for in the year of good old 2004? I genuinely want to know.
There was a point in every...
Why did you not have Somari, bro? At least that's a relatively unique experience you can say it's just yours. You played NES games on a flash drive that had Somari for some reason. Sure, alright.
One's life, whether young or old, where they considered the original Super Mario Bros. One of the most difficult games they'd ever played. Might be because it's the only game they've ever played, because when you do decide to give the player things like rewinding and save states, most people will go, oh, this game was piss easy. How did I struggle with this? Most people assume it's because we've gotten older, but it's mostly because the games were designed like this. Games like Mario 85, not that one, were really just made to be simple because you can only fit so much on a block of cheese. Devs had to keep the gameplay seem longer than it actually was. Keep it simple, stupid, but don't let them catch on. Give them Lakitu and Hammer Bro in a 2-pixel radius, and they'll still be trying to beat this game well into the Obama administration. With such simple level design that was more based on trial and error, characters were designed to be just as simple as the games they were in. It's why Mario looks like a first draft design project, why Bowser is modeled like a dog looking me down from inside a petting zoo, and why the princess was designed the way she was. As a goal. The final goalpost, to serve as the end of your journey. It's a very objectifying looking back at it, but again, you need to think about the time period.
Yeah, it was all women. There was a time period where women were literally just objects of desire, am I right? Fucking society used to be so sexist. I'm glad we fixed that and sexism doesn't exist anymore. That's so nice.
This wasn't a misogynistic jab at women's fertility or anything. You can only do so much on the NES cartridge, and this was simply designed this way to get to the point. And it served its purpose. Nintendo wasn't going into this expecting Mario to carry the gaming industry on its shoulders, but this is where they are now. Video games have far outgrown this simplistic design philosophy thanks to Mario, and a lot is expected of game devs nowadays. Times are changing, and characters will have to change with them. Marco, please calm down for a second. I love you. I already made the EXE Slop joke. I can't push the button twice. Despite what I just said, I don't really exactly know when Mario characters started to grow with the games, because it's not like the Mario characters didn't have personality back then. We had stuff like the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and advertisements that could depict the cast far better than the games could at the time. And I think I like them better here than I do in most of the modern Nintendo releases. Is it crazy to say that? I don't think...
No, not particularly. I think if anything, that's just the... When you say Peach is an interesting character, like, it's almost like... Okay, which spin-off? Like, it's like when someone says, oh, I really love insert characters. Like, okay, which spin-off were they in that you really liked? Because they're only allowed to really have characterization, in other media, really. Like, the show, Peach was allowed to be a bit more. In the Mario and Luigi games, she was allowed to be a bit more. Like, and I think that's... The thing with Peach is that even though in other media she's given more characterization, I can't say there's one where she particularly won me. I mean, I guess in Striker she's a bit of a diva, and I like that. But I wouldn't say I'd love that. Does that make sense? I don't think there's a single outside of main game media where Peach is depicted in a way where I'm like, yeah, I love Peach. What about yourself?
I think it is. Call me Movie Bob or whatever. I don't care what people think of me. Even back then, Nintendo gave the Mario cast a bunch of personality. The evolving state of gaming just gave them more room to show that off in a physical product. I would say it was around the 90s where these games truly showed off the characters for the first time in a game. The Super Nintendo was a big enough leap for games like Super Mario Kart and Super Mario RPG to show us what these people were like.
Damn, she be drinking. Hey, she's a drinker? Shit, she be putting that way.
In my opinion, the 64 and GameCube era did it the best. The developers were very much still experimenting here and there with what characters could do, but never departed from the core of what made them who they were. You know, I don't think Luigi would have laughed at his brother at the end of Luigi's Mansion if it were made today. Nah. Nintendo seemed to know what they were doing, so what happened? Why am I making this video? Well, I don't want to sound like the Daisy 911 guy, so I'm going to keep it simple.
Game Daisy just doesn't work for me. I just don't like
the culture around video games.
Wait, who is that guy? Who's that guy? Can I watch that video? Who's that guy? The Daisy 911 guy?
Things shifted when it came to
what?
Girls
You guys
in
know?
Gaming. There were crowds of activists who thought women were being too sexualized in video games and wanted representation for females to improve. And I get it. Like, the most you had there was like Miss Pac-Man and Samus and Lara Croft. And I don't think they're the most complex characters. They're much more complex now, but back then they were very limited. I like female protagonists. I like protagonists in general. I don't think gender should have such a huge factor when it comes to telling a story. You treat your characters as they should be treated in their own universe. Respect the world you build and the audience you have for those games. This movement would start to affect Nintendo's catalog more and more, including Princess Peach. There was a clear cry out for Peach to be more than just a damsel in distress, and I think that was reflective through a game called Super Princess Peach, developed by Tosei. Super Princess Peach was considered Peach's big break from being just a princess who needed saving. I think the idea could work here.
And her powers were what again? What were her powers again, John? They gave her her own game. What were her powers again? What was the thing that she wanted to get at the end? What was it called again? I'm learning. I'm learning things about women.
The idea of switching roles between Mario and Princess Peach, letting her stand on her own heels and lead an adventure is great by itself, but maybe Nintendo shouldn't have hired the people responsible for... Oh, no. Oh, this is worse than I was going to make it out to be. I couldn't make this up if I tried. The game is about Peach harnessing this thing called emotional energy and uses it to her advantage throughout the game. And I can admit that's really on the nose for a game about female power. Like, the most iconic female video game character has a standalone where the emotions are the gimmick. Not really the best. That's just not a good look. I don't know, it did relatively well. Probably better than their more recent attempt with a game called Princess Peach Showtime. I actually played this one. Princess Peach Showtime is a game about Princess Peach visiting a theater.
I heard it's for little girls, and I'm not a little girl, so I don't play it. What does that make you, John?
It gets rated by this Balan Wonderworld-looking caricature. Again, the idea is cool here. Peach is out of her element, has to take a leadership role for people she's never met. It highlights a lot of her generous and kind qualities. But the gimmick of the game isn't actually Peach being playable. Instead, it's like some Diet Coke Kirby gameplay where Peach takes on different personas. And I don't know, this just doesn't feel like Peach. This feels like you didn't know what kind of game you wanted to make. This doesn't feel like a real game. So instead of having like a cool game, you have just what is essentially an act. Oh, this game has diversity. You could play a beat 'em up 1 minute, and the next you're playing a baking minigame. Or you can play a baby's first Arkham Asylum. Reading the last page first? This feels like a would-be Mario game. A game you give a toddler to introduce them to the idea of Mario.
Which is why I never really played
Mario
it,
is nowhere to be seen in this game, and any rendition of Mario Kart does this more effectively. I used to think Bowser Jr. and Diddy Kong beefed over Baby Peach, because I thought Pauline and Peach were the same character. A game like Princess Peach Showtime does not breed levels of innovation like this in our youth. It really isn't helping that neither of these games are hard by any means. It's not like Mario games need to be balls to the wall crazy.
But it helps, doesn't it?
Nowadays. But this is like Sonic Forces levels of brain numbing. Neither of these games feel like they're challenging the player, and if this game is meant to be marketed towards girls, I think that says a lot without saying anything at all. It makes me think there's this perception that girls aren't as good at video games as boys are naturally. If you're making a video game that's meant to...
I would say, well, it's obviously made for young girls, not like older ones, which I would say if the game's going to be easy, I think that works out that way. And I think the game being easy is probably a good asset in that regard, because I think if there's one thing that you need to take into consideration, I think maybe this person will reference it, but there's one thing that you need to know about kids, which is, from my experience of like babysitting my nieces and nephews, is the moment a game is hard, they'll just stop playing. They're not built like you or me. Well, like if the game was hard, it was either I play that game or I do nothing. If Princess Peach Showtime is too hard, they'll stop playing it, and they'll go play Roblox. That's not a joke. I've seen that happen in real time. If the game's too hard, they'll just stop playing it. So if you need to get like a younger audience into a game, it probably helps it if it's easy. It genuinely, it really, really does. If it's obviously marketed, it's supposed to be marketed that way, it helps, you know? So like, I think Princess Peach Showtime being easy, I think is probably a strength, you know?
Introduce a girl to a platformer, I don't think you should go into that game developing it like you're making Rayman brain games. I think a game's enjoyment or difficulty shouldn't be hindered by the gender demographic. If you want a girl to be just as capable of being a gamer as a boy, then put those games on the same level. Make a girl game as difficult as you would make a game for boys.
Like, arguably, maybe it could be hard. I've not played Princess Peach Showtime, so I don't know how brain dead easy it is. But it was obviously trying to go for like a younger demographic, younger girls specifically. So I would say it being easy is probably for the better. But again, I haven't really played it, so I can't make that statement definitively, you know?
I don't know. These
like, young girls can't play Metroid Dread, okay? Because young boys can't play it either. They'll just quit. They'll play Steal a Brain Rot. Trust me, they will. I'm not joking. They will just play Steal a Brain Rot instead, bro. I'm telling you, man. They'll just watch YouTube. The biggest enemy of children playing video games is YouTube Shorts. That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
Games are just still made for children, like young children. I can't imagine it breaking any ground.
It won an award? For what?
And maybe it's just how I feel about Princess Peach deserving better. I think a character as iconic as her would have a game on the same level as something like Luigi's Mansion or Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, it should do,
Those
yeah,
spin-offs
definitely.
are great and don't hold any punches on experimenting with the Mario franchise. Why does Nintendo treat Peach any different?
I think it's because Peach is like their most marketable female character in a series that, in a game industry that tends to skew men and boys, having your marquee woman have it to be a more accessible game probably just makes the most sense. It should. I think Peach definitely does deserve a bit more. I agree with that, but I think it's one of those things where unfortunately for us, it just kind of makes the most sense, really. Like I was gonna say Peach doesn't have a Luigi the same way Mario has a Luigi. Like, actually technically does with Daisy. But like, would girls go crazy over a Daisy game? I don't know. Would they? I don't know, really.
Well,
Or
apparently
like a Birdo game? Maybe they should try something like that.
Nintendo isn't the only offender to this assassination attempt, because Illumination has a hand in this too. Those dirty Westerners, don't get me started on this bull. So I recorded those lines over a month ago. This video was like in the work in progress stage.
Oh, did he do the thing? Hey, where's the John cut? I can't listen. I can't stand it when content creators do this shit. They had one version of the video where they were super fucking angry, and then they go, "Oh man, I was super angry. I can't put that out." It's like, yeah, you can. I like the raw emotion. God damn it! Put the John cut out.
Like for a lot of weeks because of college, and I told myself if I didn't end up finishing the video by the time the Mario Galaxy movie would come out, I would rope in my thoughts about it into this video. And it kind of shifted my thoughts on the movie characterization of Peach. That being said, I still have problems with it, but I don't want to entirely butcher this part of the video. I'm just going to like recontextualize it a little bit. The Super Mario movies have been a hot topic of debate lately. The 1993 one doesn't have Princess Peach in it, so I get to avoid it for now. But we're going to be talking about the Illumination duology right now. The one with, Chris Pratt. This Peach is another product of what I like to call the girl power effect.
Yeah, we know about this, don't we, chat? Is that like, I think girls for the longest time were damsels in distress, damsels in distress, objects of desire. So I guess in an attempt to kind of right our wrongs, we made every woman a girl boss. Which, listen, I like a good girl boss, gaslight gatekeep girl boss, but there comes this phenomenon where, and I think movie Peach is reflected in this, but I'm almost certain there's like other women that someone could probably point out also falls into this trap. From my experience, again, I don't have any examples to hand, I wish I did, but it really feels like whenever they make that archetype of character, they lack the range because they're afraid of giving them any hardships. Essentially, like with an average male character, because there's no stigma around, anything to do with being a male character, you have so much range to hit. But when it comes to like a woman character, because now you're like, okay, well, I have to make her a girl boss because that's just what we do now, right? Okay, do you want to give her like some hardships to shape who she is? Because that's how like every good character is. Like literally, look at some of the best characters in fiction. They've gone through like hardships. They've gone through moments where maybe they weren't all that good. Maybe they were like dubious, but then like kind of yeah. Your Walter White's for an example. But it's like people are maybe a bit too hesitant to do that with female characters because it's like, well, I don't want people. I don't know, man. Woke will get me. I gotta be careful. Sort of thing, So instead, you just do this like surface level girl boss character that, like, yeah, she's strong, she's independent, but like, does she have anything other than being strong in it? No, okay. I was hoping she'd have a bit more. Because like Mario has more. He goes through like hardships and difficulties, and like he has moments where like, sure. Yeah, it's literally just modern Disney. Yeah, basically, it's just boring. Yeah, that's the unfortunate. It's just kind of boring, I think Sam is a girl boss done right. Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I'd say so. Just got stoic in that regard,
female characters, but they don't actually give the time of day to.
Mulan reboot got nuked. Oh, the Mulan. Don't even get me fucking. You know the worst part about the original? The original Mulan is like it's like a girl boss character done right, genuinely, because she. Do I spoil the story of Mulan? I guess it's a really old film, but like, it's like really inspiring. Genuinely, like Mulan is probably one of the most inspiring films that a young girl could probably watch. No joke, because like her life path was already set before her in that she's gonna grow up, she's gonna get married, and and then you're gonna pair you off with a rich man, and we're gonna be golden, baby. Yeah, you're gonna do the family proud. And it's like, well, I don't want that. I want to do a bit more than that. And she does do a bit more than that. She fucking saves China. It's like, what the hell? Despite her adversity, she saves China, That's fucking inspiring, bro. That's a hell of a good story. But instead we get modern stories that are all just like, they're like overcorrecting a little bit. And it's like, come on, man. Like,
tell us why they're strong to begin with or why we should root for them. They're just strong and you have to accept that. So every time you hear that a female will be taking a lead in any modern Hollywood production, your mind gravitates to a bunch of fat neckbeards complaining about how they're all the same. I mean, they're kind of right, but let's not tell them that right now. They don't need the leverage. For the last decade or so, Hollywood has had this fascination with writing female leads to be without flaw, rarely showing any other kind of emotion other than raw strength and pure leadership qualities. And that's not a bad archetype. It's just Are you able to
Boring.
write anything else? It's funny the one time, but it's generally frowned upon by consumers now. And it is especially not how you characterize someone like Princess Peach.
And it's even worse because, like, now when I see a woman, like, you've kind of done the same problem, but, like, maybe you could even argue, I wouldn't argue worse, I'd say it's better, but, like, you've done the same problem again. Like, when you saw a woman in media in, like, the 90s or 80s or 70s, it's like, okay, she's an object of desire, a damsel in distress. Now when I see a woman in media, like, in 2010, 2020, I'm like, the moment I see that she, like, yeah, I do things smart, I'm like, all right, I get it. You got no flaws. You don't need anyone. You get everything done on your own. You're not gonna have an interesting character arc. You're not gonna have any flaws. Boring. Like, you've done the same thing, but, like, I guess slightly better. I guess it's slightly better that you're competent than incompetent, I guess. But in the same way, it's still boring character writing either way. Do you know what I mean? Like, you overcorrect it. Like, if before we were down here, like, you're here. We're better than we were before, but, like,
my issue with these two movies isn't that Princess Peach is doing badass things. That's perfectly fine. But with the way Hollywood chooses to write female characters,
it's like, it's literally, I'm at the point now, sorry to interrupt you, John. I'm at the point now where, no joke, if I see a movie where a woman's like an object of desire, damsel in distress, I'm probably gonna get more excited. Firstly, because hamana awooga, but second, I'm like, okay, she initially starts as damsel in distress. Does she come into her own a bit later and becomes a bit more, oh, there's an arc! That's an arc! Oh, that's an arc! I love arcs! I love arcs, baby! Yeah! Like, maybe that could happen. So, you know, it's crazy how that happens.
badass things. It starts to affect how Princess Peach treats the people around her, and henceforth, her characterization as a whole. The biggest example of this can be seen in the very first scene that she's in. In the movie, Mario rushes to the castle asking Princess Peach for help to save his brother. He goes up to her like, "Oh, Princess, thank goodness I found you. It's me." Oh, wait, I forgot. Chris phoned his lines in. "Hey, it's me, Mario. I heard you were on your way to stop Bowser. My brother just fell into the Darklands. I think he did. And now I need to save him from this turtle guy. Can I come with you?" Now, the Princess Peach I know.
It's so weird cause Peach has good girl boss moments in the spin-offs, but the way they handle her in the movies doesn't feel like Peach at all.
It's like, it feels like, now again, I don't have any good examples offhand. I wish I did, but I guess I'm a sexist. I don't remember enough women characters. But like, it almost feels like sometimes they're too afraid to show what a woman's greatest strengths are. To be afraid to look sexist. Because, like, sometimes a woman's greatest strength is that they're kind. You know, is their kindness, is their compassion, is their ability to work together, is their ability to be charming, you know, in a way that a man just can't. And yet it feels like sometimes they're probably a bit too nervous to showcase that side because that means they're vulnerable and weak. They can't be vulnerable. It's like, no, that's not vulnerability. Showing emotion isn't vulnerability. In fact, that's something women are able to master way better than any men are. Are you kidding me? The only time men are allowed to be emotional is when fucking football's on. Are you kidding me? But like 90% of all Western men are fucking stunted, bro. Are you kidding me? That is one of your greatest strengths. Is your raw emotion. Obviously, it's different when a game uses that as the power-ups. That's maybe not the best way to manifest it. But that is a strength. But it's never. It always feels like they're too afraid of depicting that as one. I don't know, to be honest. In a way. What's it? Encanto to kind of escape that hole, and I'm kind of glad it did as well. You know. I enjoyed the growth of Liko in Horizons. Just seeing how she became more confident while being empathetic. Yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. Like. Masculinity exists in this weird vector where like men just can't be emotional the same way women can. And I think showcasing that in a positive light can be a good showcase to show, like, firstly, if any like young boys that are watching as well, in that it's okay to have an emotional core to you, but like it's a good way to show to women that's also a strength too in some way. You know, it is in some degree. Yeah.
Would have responded like,
"Repress your feelings to prove your manhood." Yeah.
It's very generous of you, but
so
I'm
dumb.
not sure if you're ready to take on someone like him. He's a ferocious beast and pummels anyone who opposes him. You know, sort of letting him down gently, being firm. Now, how do you think Illumination handled this scene?
This guy's a lunatic, a psycho. He will eat you for breakfast. He won't even notice it probably, because you're very, very, small.
Now listen, I understand what the point of the scene is. I'm not stupid. This is very obviously meant to be, you know, she's never met this guy. Mario and Peach don't have that kind of connection yet. But they use this narrative to make her rude as shit. It's like MCU dialogue kind of rude. Like, that doesn't feel like a kind and considerate princess. She's like,
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
you're so small. Where's your wife? Go home to
Go back to your family.
She doesn't know what this guy can do. She doesn't know what he's capable of.
Yeah,
And that's an
exactly.
oversight in my book. I just was kind of hoping that this kind of like dissonance between the two wouldn't carry over in the Galaxy movie, and it very much does not. They're definitely more like in touch with each other. She calls him Mustache. They have little nicknames for each other. He buys her little gifts. It's good to see them together. You know, love wins and all that. And she's not the one-note plot progressor in this movie either. She's the one taking charge. She's the one that, out of the kindness of her heart, chooses to help the little Lumas in need.
Yeah.
She doesn't have everything together. She's not always able to rely on her own 2 feet. Mario comes by her side in those moments of despair, and they rely on each other. You know, that's what I'm looking for. That's what it's all about. And, you know, I can see the pieces being planted here to build up a proper story between the two over the course of a trilogy. You know, maybe I gave them a little too much slack, the writers here. With these 2 movies combined, we've had really solid translations from game to movie of every single character. You know, Peach just had a couple rough spots. We're getting there. Maybe they know what they're doing. Is what I would have said if they didn't go and make Peach and Rosalina siblings. Can we not? How hard is it to have a solid translation? It's Mario. How do you mess it up? It cannot be.
Oh, I gotta agree, guys. I completely forgot they fucking did that. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh, Miyamoto literally woke up and was like, the siblings now. Mr. Miyamoto, sir, I don't know the siblings. But the siblings. Yeah. Look at my cool shirt. Look at my cool shirt.
Painfully obvious that this is just more layering on a character that doesn't need it because they don't trust the original vision of the character. So then instead, they tie her to Rosalina for no reason other than pointless advertising, and they make her some kind of god? Like, what is the point of that? How do you justify that? Is there a single piece of media that translates Princess Peach without sacrificing any of her qualities as a character from the original? What even are those qualities? Super Mario Odyssey! It all comes back to this, doesn't it?
Buddy, you wrote it. It's your story. What happened? Why are you guessing? What the fuck is this? Is it like
At the end of Super Mario Odyssey, Princess Peach is presented with a quarrel. Mario has just saved her life once again from Bowser, escaping with barely any breath left. But without hesitation, the two of them are once again trying to fight for her approval. This is where Princess Peach comes to a revelation. She has been seen as nothing but a goal by these two for over 30 years, a prize to be won, the end of a journey, and nothing more. It's here where she's finally putting her foot down and says enough is enough. She makes it abundantly clear without any words that if either of them want any chance of having a happy ending alongside her, they need to treat her like a person and not just as a goal. People debate all the time on this ending about whether Peach was in the wrong or if it's all played for laughs.
Wait, who said? I don't really like it, mostly because everyone likes that character. Either Mouse or the way Peach just rejects them and leaves them on the moon to die. Wait, what? No! Hang on. No, I've become outstanded by the ending first time seeing it. I found it very weird and funny because why did Peach reject Mario and Bowser? Why was Peach happy when Bowser tried to offer her piranha plants after he just kidnapped her? We don't really care about it, but this game makes it seem like why would you care? So encouraging. I like the ending because of how interesting it is. I was always so confused. Why is Bowser offering flowers? Why was even Mario worried that he even accept them? Why does she look so happy about it? It's one of those endings that's fine when you start to think of it. Agreed. When I first saw the end, I was thinking to myself, why does Peach literally put her partner and rescue on the same level as our kidnapper? Whenever Peach to totally run away and wants the final boss to complete. I thought Nintendo were doing this for comedic purposes, but it just flopped to me. No, I'm going to be honest, like, I don't think these people talk to me. I always just interpreted the ending as, like, Peach just... Because after this, doesn't she just travel the world? Like, you see her in, like, various locations, doesn't she? I think it's very clearly her just going, like, yeah, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, boys, I'll be honest. Yeah, so, like, that's kind of how I always interpreted the ending. There's just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Sure. I don't know where you found these people, but okay. all right.
I personally love it.
Yeah,
It's
I liked
able
it
to
too.
establish a backbone for the princess without sacrificing her femininity for the sake of making her character more interesting.
Yeah.
The desire to be seen as human in a relationship is a common feeling that anyone can understand. And every game since this has shown the effects of her actions. Mario doesn't align himself publicly as Peach's lover boy anymore. I don't like to think of this as being in the friend zone, but rather respecting boundaries. As a result, Mario and Peach are quickly able to get over that point and can continue on as friends. On the other side, Bowser is
Good
keeping
friends.
her wishes, but isn't taking it well. We can all admit Bowser is immature, he doesn't know for an answer, so he finds other ways of getting what he wants. He looks for other kingdoms to conquer, finds other ways to win the princess's love without pushing boundaries. His love for Peach outweighs his big ego. Not by much, but it balances out. The three of them are able to progress as the world wants them to, without sacrificing their identity. Because Peach's character was never about being the damsel. It was about being human.
Oh my god. She just wanted to be human all along.
I've spent all this time bitching on about how people don't understand Peach's character, so when am I going to start talking about why Peach is interesting? Right now. I've heard it dozens of times over. Oh, you're basic for picking the blonde bimbo. Why not the cooler and hipper princess who's a redhead and has so much more personality than Peach? Rosalina has a deep story and trauma. She's powerful and tall and has so much aura. Why would you ever pick Princess Peach? She's the default choice.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear that, my response is just, so? I don't think Peach is basic at all. Is she the basis of the other princesses? Yes. But she is far from a basic person. And if you're gonna say she is, then I would like to bring up that every other Mario character is basic. Every Mario character has one specific
Yeah, but she's like the most basic of the basics, so, ooh.
quality to them that gives developers an idea of how to characterize them. Mario is humble, Luigi is courageous, Donkey Kong is confident, but a bit of a dumbass. Daisy has spunk, Rosalina is gentle. All of these characters have existed for varying lengths of time, and by these simple words, people are able to understand what these characters are like and what makes them special. Princess Peach is kind. And that's all you really need. Princess Peach has always had this quality since her original conception. Her heart is her strength, figuratively and literally through her heart magic. This kindness allows her to look through an open lens, to not be as narrow-minded as her other friends, you know?
Unless she's playing Mario Strikers and then she becomes a fucking bitch. It's like, if anything, you know what? I kind of like that. I like that Peach's characterization is that she's always kind until you get her playing some form of sports and then she becomes a bitch.
Like, she's able to look at both the good
And in the movie
and
for some
bad,
reason.
whether they're objectively or nuanced, and try to come to a sense of understanding. It's why, even after all this time, she's still relatively gentle with Bowser, but still keeps her boundaries firm. It's this kindness that gives her these feminine qualities that she was criticized for decades about. Peach's gentle spirit doesn't just come from her own personal beliefs, but also her role as a princess. She has this standard to uphold for her people and her friends, to be this strong shoulder that they can rely on, to be someone they can look for advice and encouragement. It's what she's known for. She's a very...
It's just a bit of a shame that we don't really get to see much of this in the proper Nintendo media, isn't it? It's just a shame, isn't it? It's just a shame, isn't it?
big supporting...
It's a shame that Miyamoto hates stories! It's all Miyamoto's fault! He's homeless!
member of
He
the cast.
sucks!
And her people respect her for it. But there's only so much that one can bear, especially like Princess Peach. Throughout several spin-offs, we see a much more loose side of her. A more human side that shows more emotions than just prissy little princess. This is who Peach is. Not her entire character, but how she is on the inside and how she truly feels. With all that she goes through, she has a lot of unchecked emotions because no one really asks her what she thinks. But we always ask what Red Boy thinks.
You want to know what I think about peaches?
Sure.
I was eating some peaches one time, and the juice spilled on my pants, and it made it look like I pissed myself. I fucking hate peaches. They're the worst fruit ever.
That's kind of a skill issue, I'll be honest.
Fine story and all, but it doesn't tell me what you think about the Mario character, Princess Peach.
Real Princess Peach?
Yeah.
She's alright. Probably my least favorite princess because she has kind of annoying voice lines in Mario Kart 7. I think those are kind of annoying.
Mario got 7?
That's it.
Yep. Also, Daisy's the best, by the way.
I'm sure she is.
She's not. She sucks.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
She sucks. Bad taste. You suck. Don't tell Gordy Man I said that.
But as time goes on, when she eventually gets that respect as a person after Odyssey, she finds it easier to keep those impulses in check. She doesn't have to find places to let it all out unconventionally because she has people to rely on that care for her in return, not just for what she provides to the story. And the most consistent person to support her is, and always has been, the man we love to watch win, Super Mario.
But have you considered... Actually, I don't have a snarky remark to play. That was actually decently compelling.
Princess Peach is human, and I don't think her being a more girly girl should take away from that. Humans are allowed to make mistakes. We mess up, we find ourselves in over our heads, and when we fall short, we rely on good friends to build us up, because we've been kind to one another. Peach being kidnapped all the time doesn't make her a poor character. It serves more to the story than just a damsel to be saved. It shows that even a graceful and powerful figure like Peach can be bested. I mean, would you be able to keep yourself from getting kidnapped by this guy?
Yeah, no, it's true, and I agree with it. It's just a shame that, like, in the game, she doesn't really serve as anything more than just that. That's what it is. Is that, like, this character analysis has been wonderful, by the way. It's just a shame that they don't really translate that to the game. That's the big issue. In fact, if anything, I would argue, and maybe there's other instances in the chat, you can help me, you're the Mario chuds. I would argue maybe the best instance of this, funnily enough, is in Super Mario World. Because, like, Bowser has her kidnapped, but then periodically, as you damage Bowser, she helps you by throwing mushrooms as a show of kindness. You know, she's always thinking about you, even when she's always thinking about, like, the fact that you're risking her life to save her, you know? But, like, in other games, like, there's no really gameplay manifestation of, like, her kindness or her, like, compassion or anything. Like, they don't really do much of that, you know? Like, if like, for example, in, like, most Mario games, like, she did something to that effect, or maybe, like, for example, or maybe you could do, like, if Mario games had that thing, in Galaxy as well, oh yeah, the one-up mail in Galaxy as well, if, like, Mario had that Sonic thing, one of the things I've always liked about Sonic games is once you beat the game, and if you beat the game with all 7 KSI modes, you unlock, like, an extra zone, like the real true ending. I would have loved it if, like, Mario games had that. I know they technically do, like, obviously, like, you know, like the Perfect Run, for example, they kind of put that Champions Road. I wish they had a more like a story-based version of, like, a 100% ending the same way Sonic does, right? So, like, if you beat the ending but collect all 120 stars, instead of just, like, beating the game again, unlocking, like, Super Luigi Galaxy or getting Champions Road or whatever, there's, like, a special version of the ending fight where, like, maybe Peach becomes a bit more involved, you know, or, like, something to that effect. Like, it's a shame that for all of Peach's good qualities, the main marquee series is for, like, Mario, which is, like, the 2D and 3D Marios, don't really manifest that as much as they should, other than, like, small instances of, like, one-up mail in Galaxy and, like, the mushrooms being thrown in Mario World, you know? It's just a shame that, despite all you've said, and I think you've made a very compelling character analysis, that the games, that outside of other devs, if they're in the mood to, she doesn't really get the characterization she probably deserves, you know? I mean, the 40th fucking time, how about we get some defense mechanisms, is all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, just something. Just, I don't know, just something, man. The characterization works really well in the Mario RPG, since everyone's consistent in those games. It's safe to say she's just like that in normal games. It would be nice to see, yeah, it'd be nice to see that, honestly. Like, and I think about, like, if Mario never had, like, a bustling spin-off, you know, library of games, would we have even gotten these characterizations of Peach? Because we all know Miyamoto is evil Miyamoto, and he doesn't like stories. He's sexist, and he wants his women to be objects of desire, obviously, because that's how he is. So it's just a shame. It's just a shame that these are traits you only really get to see in alternate media, and even then, it's only really sometimes, you know.
I'd be so dead ass. Don't be like, oh, I'd let him. Dude, he's gonna kill you.
We'll see those characterizations in Mario Titans. I fucking hope so.
Kill you. Even in spite of what she's seen, she still chooses to be kind. Kindness is never a poor man's quality. And it's Peach's best. Her kindness is reflected through the people around her. Her kindness is able to pierce through the stone-cold heart of Bowser and can be used to help for the better. It's what inspires the people of her kingdom to keep moving forward, and it repays itself through the kindness of other characters. She's repaid by his bravery and his actions to save the ones he holds close. It's what I mostly mean when I say more women should be like Princess Peach. In fact, everyone should be more like Peach. A little bit of kindness in one's life can carry someone a long way. It's a quality that anyone can apply to their lives, whether you're a man or a woman. We shouldn't be afraid.
Yeah, but what if I like being mean, though?
to embrace these parts of ourselves because
True, that's
they
true.
aren't feminine and they don't make you look weak.
True!
They're human.
Yes!
They're human traits that have always made the princess who she is. And personally, I think a lot of us would get along a lot better if we tried to live just a little peachier.
I agree. Except when people come up to me in London and ask me for money, and then I'm just like, all of a sudden the peachiness from me leaves. Which happened to me earlier, yesterday, by the way, chat. So these two literally they look like tourists. They came up to me and asked me for money. So got no change. Normally what happens whenever this happens is I like to usually watch them to see if they ask anyone else. They didn't ask anyone else. So I'm just like, why did you ask me for money but no one else? Like, am I losing my innate intimidation bonus? It's been happening a lot lately, chat. That's probably the worst bit about me getting old. Is I don't have that innate intimidation bonus that came with being a younger adult / teenager. I'm like, now people just look at me and they see Unk and they think, oh, he's harmless. I'm like, no, I'm not harmless. I can harm you. I got a knife in my pocket. You have to be careful. But I don't actually. I'm just lying. Good video though. Amazing video.
Or maybe I'm wrong about all of this, and Nintendo doesn't let other people write their stories for this reason, because they don't want them getting mischaracterized. You know, that was the issue with the Archie comics series that was pitched by Ian Flynn.
Oh my god. It all comes back around to fucking Ian Flynn. Oh, no wonder Peach has no characterization. It's all fucking Ian Flynn's fault. Oh, man.
But hold on, Ian Flynn?
It was all his fault. It was all his fault. I want to be honest, this video was fantastic. I'll be so for it. Yet another case where I genuinely don't feel like I added enough to upload this. I'll be honest. I think this gave a nice insight into how you feel about Peach and the reasons why you think she's a really cool character. I think these were all things I kind of knew, but it was nice to see it in a very well edited, very well presented package. So, do you know what? I'm gonna give you an up chungus and a subscribe. How about that? I'll do both. That's how much I like this video. No notes, really. I got no notes. More videos. I want to see more videos from you, okay? I want more videos in my sub box. Tonight, not tomorrow, not after breakfast. No! I'm an echidna now, okay? You better fucking give me content, okay? I want to consume. Let me consume. It's how it word me? Did it? I guess it kind of gives off the air of it gives off an air of unseriousness, but yeah, it's very good. Great video, W clickbait. Someone's here is desperate for a Robux. Yeah, man. No kidding. As a goon, my disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. Oh, it's because the I think the thumbnail says Goon Slop. That's why it is. Yeah, Goon Slop. So I'm guessing that was just clickbait. No, they didn't. At no point did people make a reference to that. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Hang on. Oh no! I was a small YouTuber. Fuck! I'm supposed to hate small YouTubers, chat. Oh fuck! I can't support you anymore. I'm afraid. I hate small YouTubers now. Everyone knows. Everyone knows I can't support you. Robux, please. Could you give me Robux? Only 100, please. I want. Whose child is this? Robux, a Robux, and Robux. 100 or 1,000 I just want Robux, please. Transcribed voice reply. Sorry, we don't hand out money for a game ran by pedophile defenders. Yeah, I'll give that an up, Chungus. Why not? Why not? You know, Andy's funny in the comments as well. Amazing how that works. I blame Alfred for my recent appreciation of the Silly Pink Princess, although it's more because of the RPGs and small actors speak volumes. From the Paper Mario trilogy to how she carries herself in other spin-off titles, with her fully enjoying herself and whatever activity it may be, to the odd but interesting moments like in Partners in Time and her baby self, shows incredible displeasure with adult Mario Bros. Potentially being left for dead by a young Prince Bowser. That kind of empathy isn't exactly commonplace, let alone a toddler of all things. As you said, it's all from the simple kindness she carries with her, and I'm sick of pretending she isn't my favorite princess. The favorite Mario cat is still the Toads, Toad and Toadette. So Peach still loses to Toad? Okay. Bruv, I love Alpha Rats? Whoa! You called him Alpha. What? What? Alpha Rats? The Paper Mario. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, hang on. I just realized. Wait, the Paper Mario trilogy. What he mean? But what that mean? What that mean? What that mean? Huh? Trilogy? What that mean? Huh? Watching it for the first time, I learned his favorite character was Peach was hilarious. Turns out I was the only guy who loved Jacob who liked Peach. Are you male or are you female? Damn, honestly. Actually, you know what? I've learned to appreciate this video even more now. Fellas can't even like Peach anymore without having a gender questioned. Damn. At least when I say my favorite character is Samus, people are like, yeah, Samus, yeah, you've played Metroid. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love Metroid. I love Peach. Are you a girl? Not very woke of you, Tiago Gomez. Not very woke of you, indeed. They call Peach Goon Slop. He's a cute princess. What's wrong with these people? Gamers, I'm gonna be honest. The YouTube comments have an epidemic. They have an epidemic of people that comment before watching the video. And it needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped, gamers. This happens to me sometimes, and I'm just like, you guys didn't see the video. He didn't, like, it was just clickbait. Clickbait that I didn't fall for, because I just wanted to see, I thought the video would be interesting, but you got the 495 upchunguses as well. Fucking hell, lads. That's the 2020s for you. Honestly, one of the bad phenomenons of the internet and one of the best phenomenons of the internet chat. Guy who pretends something that is as old as human time is a relatively recent concept. Brother, I've been on the internet for 20 years, broski. I've been alive for bruv, what it's eternal. I'm not talking about Doom, brother, it's eternal. It's eternal. What are you talking about? It's big on the internet. It ain't new in the 2020s, it's just well known. Yeah, like people misunderstand over-sexualization. It's not inherently as bad as people say. Well, if Peach falls into the category, although if fandom wasn't sexualized it, they can as long as it's ethical. Thank you. Thank you! Now I know what to say when I keep gooning it to Peach R34! Oh my god, yes! Thank you! Someone said it was ethical for me to goon to Peach! Yes! Finally! Oh! Like every time I was zerking it, I just felt bad. I just felt that wash of guilt. You know that wash of guilt? And then I just feel that wash of guilt. I take my other hand and I just swipe off whatever I was looking at because I'm like, I don't want to look at it anymore. I can't look at it anymore. But now I can finally appreciate my handiwork. Ethical Fabs gamers, finally! Post not clarity. Oh man. I headcanon the reason Princess Peach isn't the queen, despite being the ruler, is because in the Mushroom Kingdom, the title of queen only applies to the wife of the king in the Mushroom Kingdom, which only allows women to rule if the king has no viable male heirs. It's something that kind of bothers me sometimes. Well, to be fair, in early Mario media, Peach did have parents. Over the years, it seems like they got retconned for some reason. Bring back her parents, I begged. I actually didn't know. I actually didn't know there was a King Toadstool. Interesting. As someone who's also a huge Peach fan, I love her because she's the only one. She's one of few spotlight female characters who's still a girly girl, but also kind and compassionate. Princess Peach is someone who's sweet but toughens up when she needs to. Yeah, her kindness is never her fault. Yeah, I like that. I think a problem with people have I think a problem that people have with her, which I see as one of her greatest strengths, is how feminine and girly she is. We should be celebrating this instead of trying to see it as a bland, outdated writing. Femininity is important, and Peach is one of those celebrators of it. And while she's still being able to stand up for herself, Peach will always be far and away on my favorite Mario gal and second favorite Mario character, right behind Luigi. Yes, it's one of those things where yeah, true. I like women. I like it when women get to celebrate their womenness, gamers. Call me the wokest guy of age. I like it when the women get to be women. Put that in a pipe and smoke it. I love women. Women, 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 women. W women. Yeah. Dap me up, dap me up. Dap me up, brother. Yeah, see? Joyce, I like it when women just like get to be women. Do you know what I mean? Like they can do this, they can do that. They just be, do you know what I hate though? I hate periods. I'm like, honestly, it's terrible what you guys have to deal with, man. Honestly. What's it? Peach existed 4 years before I had the word goon. How did this definition change in meme culture? Well, I mean, she is Goon Slop after all. Kindness is the new punk rock. True, I agree. It's kind of decharacterization that happened with a lot of openly feminine girly characters like Amy Rose or Rouge the Bat. True. Where are Rouge's titties? Where did her titties go? I can't believe this. Sucks. I like it when the women get to be women. Growing up in the 90s, I would have killed for a Peach game. Mario RPG was huge to me. I never got Super Princess Peach because it looked really easy and I was a broke kid who wanted RPGs to get my money's worth. Got Showtime for myself, but gave up on the last floor of, for other games. My 5-year-old daughter, on the other hand, loves it. She was pretending to be a superhero, Peach, today in the pool. I'm glad Peach got to evolve her character over time and I hope Daisy may one day get the same treatment. That's adorable. Yeah. Oh my god, it's almost as if it was made for little girls. Oh my god. Toadette is the best princess. I don't know about that. That's a real ass answer. I don't know about that, to be honest. I don't know about that Toadette, man. It's all because of how we have the, what's it, the super crown? That crown thing? And we all know what happened because of that. I feel like franchises end up making every single Go character the same, and it's becoming a big problem with the princesses. People care more if female characters are Mary Sue's or damsels in distress than having an actual personality. True. You see that? I love it when the women are just women. You know? See, do you know what? Do you know how much I love women? Hang on. Fuck. I had a second screen of it with the shirt, but like I'm not gonna. But like, whenever someone makes a joke about seeing a doctor, chat, I immediately think the doctor's a woman. I bet you guys, hypothetically, when you think of a doctor, you think of a man doctor. I'm like, no, I think of a woman doctor. Because women could be doctors too. I bet when you think nurse, you think woman, don't you? You should really think about how your mind works. Honestly. I'm on like a level of woke that's like unreal, chat. You have no idea. My favorite version of Peach is in Brothership, and I wish more people talked about her in that game. It really highlights her kindness and leadership when talking with the idol under her wing. I actually really liked it in that game. I really like how she acts as a role model to Irene, also helps build up her confidence, as well as her excursions with Idol. It's a good mix of kindness and adventurousness, I think. SPM is second because Sassy Peach is hilarious, not to undermine her kindness towards me or anything. Alright, Gumbo. It's like, I'm unreal. I'm on another level, JD. You have no idea, bro. You have no idea. Those are two games I need to really get around to finish. Haven't even played Brothership. Brothership's really slow and I lost my interest over time. Yeah, it's the pacing. It's just a pacing issue, isn't it? Oh my god, it's Goon. He's back, game. It's Goon, but I remember this guy. The fact that people call Peach the ungrateful one because he didn't marry Mario after he saved her from a literally forced marriage and he and Bowser are fighting over her and forcing her to choose one over them. Honestly, there's a lot about those people than it does about Peach. Like, I don't mind forcing someone to marry after you rescued them from the danger is totally fine and dandy. But if they reject you and call you out for being childish, you call them ungrateful and a jerk? That's some Hal Stewart from Megamind type mentality there. Interesting. Well, hang on, what's this? Peach doesn't love Mario. I could see that maybe she did at one point, but there's no doubt in my mind that Odyssey ending 100% revealed to Peach that Mario at the end of the day is no better than Bowser. He sees her as nothing more than a trophy he can use to prove that he's better with Bowser. Anita Sarkeesian regen? What the fuck? He only rescues her because he loves her romantically and not because she's a person with her own autonomy. Bowser's bad, but at least he doesn't pretend to be the hero to get with Peach. Mario's a snake, and he's incredibly lucky Peach is so compassionate and lovely person to have forgiven him for the way he treated her. That's one of the many things I admire about her. Listen, I'm not this woke, okay guys? I love women, but like that's a bit I'm not with that guy. I'm not with this guy. I'm with him. Okay, now you're taking it too far. I agree Mario did something stupid and childish at the end of Odyssey. It was a massive misrepresentation of his character. To say that he's a snake is no better than a guy who literally just take over the world amongst other things over one brief moment of mere childishness is some sort of Matt Pat-esque delusion. Not to mention, Mario at least accepts the rejection, whereas Bowser literally cannot for the life of him take no for an answer. Mario being evil isn't the point of my comment. What I'm trying to say is that Peach doesn't love Mario because in Odyssey, he proved the point that he can and will act like an entitled brat over her. And I know for a fact that childish behavior would definitely come off as extremely unattractive, especially to someone as kind and intelligent and regal and level-headed as Peach. In no world would someone like Peach ever love Mario after the display. Peach doesn't love Mario because his impulsiveness and immaturity isn't attractive to her, hence why she rejected the wedding proposal as well, along with Bowser, who got rejected because, like Mario, he's also a simp. He's just way more unhealthy about it. It's like the guy who posted the video and said both Mario and Bowser view Peach as nothing but a girl, and that's a huge ick, so it's no wonder Peach doesn't like Mario. So hang on, so basically you said, well, Mario isn't evil, that's not the point of my comment, and then basically reiterated your entire comment again? That's basically what this guy did. Look, like, they said basically that here, so that's not the point of my comment. What the point of the comment is basically a rehash of what I said up here. What? I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening here, gamers. Not that deep. They keep going. Oh my god. If it isn't that deep, then why does everyone keep bringing up the Odyssey ending? Who's everyone? We brought up as a case study in this video. What do you mean everyone? Who? Why does everyone keep bringing up the Odyssey ending? Also, everyone who puts on the Odyssey ending and twists it on to cope with the fact that proves Peach doesn't love Mario. It proves Peach doesn't love Mario. It has to do all these mental gymnastics to try and turn a cutscene of Peach rejecting Mario indefinitely to this whole complicated lecture about how Peach really still does love Mario. She didn't reject him. She just said enough because both Bowser and Mario were acting immature. Except that's not all what the scene was about. It's more simple than that. Peach was repulsed by Mario's behavior and she said enough. In that moment, Peach was doing what any self-respecting woman would do. She had enough of Mario and Bowser fighting over her and was moving on in her life without them. She's independent. Basically what... hang on. She doesn't want to marry Mario because a ruler like Peach can't love someone who acts like that. Plus, she doesn't even need him in his life anymore. Plus, let's be real here. Luigi's a much better ship and less toxic... Bro, the ship, gamers, Nate the Hate, chat, Nate the Hate, Sam Altman, this person, true chat, true. Can we do that, gamers? Is that fair, chat? Is that fair? Is that fair? Please. All you had to do was just say you prefer Luigi X Daisy, bro. Just say that and it would have been fine. Oh my god. This is what games is more. Put an obnoxious emoji at the end of a fake rhetorical question doesn't make the comments sound clever. Relationships, platonic or otherwise, aren't just she was upset that he did one immature thing, therefore she doesn't love him. Come on. Oh my god, it keeps what is happening here? People can lose feelings and damage relationships with others in real life, especially after their crush/friend does something very hurtful, unbecoming of them. Something that reveals who they truly are. Kind of like how Mario revealed to Peach that he doesn't see her as a person, but a trophy to hold over Bowser's head. This is very unbecoming of Mario, and Peach clearly sees that. The whole sequence where she says enough and turns her back on Mario to leave was all symbolic of an important change to her character dynamic going forward. Yeah, I watched the video. You're literally just copying the video. Yeah, Echidna Man said this. He literally said this. You're copying his take. Her crush, assuming he even had one, on him fades away and she embraces his independence. Yeah, I watched the video. She's no longer a captive of Mario and Bowser's rivalry, as proven by how she isn't a damsel in distress in any new game since Odyssey. Yeah, I watched the video. You're literally just copying the video now. Mario is held to a higher standard, which means the disappointment in what he does something this foul pushes people away from him. The ending of Odyssey isn't about Mario. It's about Peach and the freedom she earned of realizing who Mario really is and taking initiative to change it. I thought it was obvious, but I guess not, since many people want to skew it. TLDR, doing something really bad to push people away from you can permanently damage any trust in relationships you had. If you want people to love you, don't be like Mario, kiddos. I gotta keep going. It keeps going. You're not the first person I've met who believes that the point of the Odyssey ending is to elevate Peach's character at the expense of making Mario look like an arsehole. It's a grown sentiment that I'm starting to see in a lot of online, which fascinates me, because when the game was still new, the common response to the ending was, Peach is a bitch. Now I'm starting to see Mario as a womanizer or a simp also. The game's ending has done irreparable damage to its fan base. I always just interpreted it as like, hey, enough! And then at the end, doesn't she just wave at Mario like, bye, if you want to come along, you can come along, broski? That's literally what the ending was. Why is it Is this why Mario games don't have any, like, story? Because losers like this will just nitpick it. Jesus Christ. I don't have the patience or time to write another novel about how the game clearly proves that Peach has no feelings for Mario. If you need to know so badly, then look at when I previous comes and read it. It explains how I feel about the ending. I swear, people cannot think in shades when it comes to this damn ending. It has to be a black and white situation, but they have to blame someone or demonize them instead of admitting it has they have flaws and it makes them human. Even as someone who thinks Mario did something stupid in this ending, I was thinking that it's call him a womanizer for this one moment and ignore all the genuine kindness, all these moments of genuine kindness. Not towards Peach, it's some Matt Pat-esque Mario is a bad brother to Luigi because of that one scene in Power Tennis. Mischaracterization. Literally true! Oh my god! That's what this is. Mario Odyssey's ending is the modern version of Mario stomping on Luigi's shit. Mario's a bad brother. And it's like, no, it was just a bit of a, he was just jealous. He was just a jealous brother. Like, if my brother beats me at Mario Kart, I'd probably do the same thing. If I had to hand him the trophy, fuck you, Ozzy, fuck you. Yeah, I love him. I love my brother. Fuck you for beating me. No, yes. That's just what siblings do. This is back when they weren't worried about, like, mischaracterizing, giving Mario a personality, should we say. I wrote all your comments. Oh, man.
How is the Goomba cooking all yawn?
You're literally getting mogged by a 1-1 enemy, guys. Can you believe this shit? Can you actually believe this shit? It's fucking crazy, isn't it? Crazy work. I read all the comments. I don't like to assume that things of people I don't know anything about, but am I correct in guessing you would identify as a fourth wave? Something tells me you're in a Sarkeesian region. Is this true? Is this true, pray tell? Is this true? Based on the confusion you've drawn about how you got there, it sounds like that to me, but I don't know. I don't agree with your take and I never will. How you interpret the ending is nothing more than headcanon formed of your own worldviews and personal experiences projected onto Peach and Mario. If you can point to me the exact line of dialogue where Peach specifically tells Mario she doesn't love him anymore, I'll convert. Except you can't because it doesn't happen. What you're proposing is a slippery slope fallacy. Oh, what a nerd. That is all I'm going to say because I've argued with enough people who think like you to know this is kind of pointless. We need your comments to make me laugh because your comments made me laugh though, because I remember a time in this fan base where everyone attacked both Mario and Peach for being boring characters with zero personality and flaws. Now everyone wants Mario and Peach to be publicly executed for daring to have personality and flaws. This might just be Goomba fallacy, but I still find that kind of hypocritical. It is kind of Goomba fallacy, I'll be honest. This is the only instance I've ever seen people discuss like an ending of a mainline Mario game. This is like the only instance I've ever seen. It's actually almost like crazy. I feel like David Attenborough. I'm literally not kidding here. Is how I feel like this. Newgrounds, Game Fury, Dorkly, and the Super Mario Odyssey ending are like the four horsemen of the apocalypse for any sane, self-respecting fan in this franchise. Also, the very cutscene where Mario acts like a poor sport when Luigi wins was an arbiter of death. Mario and Peach really do get mischaracterized the hell a lot, don't they? It's so good. Now these two are just like broing it up. It's so crazy how people call Mario and Peach basic because they quote unquote have no personality, which in and of itself is a load of BS. But then when they show flaws that make them human, people still have a problem with them being considered out of character. But we just need to be satisfied, I swear to God. In fact, I'm honestly kind of surprised, but I probably shouldn't be, that Bowser didn't get any of the brunt of the ire of the fans, given everything that's happened in the Odyssey ending was entirely Bowser's fault for butting in on Mario's proposal. Dude just had to ruin everything. But people either point fingers at Mario for acting childish during the proposal, or Peach for rejecting the proposal, but never Bowser for ruining the damn thing to begin with. Gamers, they keep going. Oh my god. D is for D. If you really think that like that, then ew. Wait, I'm guessing this is the comment in reference to... Wait, what is this? Oh, this person. Count on a Peach and Mario an adorable couple because they let haters like you mad. If you really think that, then ew. Imagining a couple is cute just to spite someone. A girl has made it clear from now on she wasn't anything to do with the guy that hurt her. And this is, I'm guessing, a reply to the other guy. It's not headcanon if it's how it actually went down. But if you want to act unintelligent about them and be disrespectful to women at the same time, be my guest. There's nothing I can say to change your mind. There's nothing you can say to change your mind. You say in your earlier comment about how Mario accepted Peach's rejection. This is true, and it actually proves my point. Emphasis on the word rejection. Now Mario knows Peach doesn't love him, and he's going to have to accept. 10 days ago, yeah? Goomba, man, you have to respond or she wins. Goomba, you have to respond or this fucking loser wins. Goomba, you have to respond. Yeah, that was a fucking train wreck, wasn't it? Good lord. Good fucking lord, bro. Guys, do you understand now why sometimes I delete comments? Do you guys understand it? Although maybe I shouldn't. I'd love to see more shit like this in my comments, actually. Maybe I shouldn't delete comments that are just, like, stupid. Maybe I should just keep them, actually. I want to see stuff like that spawn. That'd be funny. Honestly, I don't even know if we want to see any more comments after that, I'll be honest. Samus is the best female video game protagonist ever, inspired by the best female movie protagonist ever. Boring. Down Chungus. Boring. Literally everyone is being turned into Goon Slop. Yes, even Bowser. Bowser's hot, though. Yeah? I'll just, you know what? I'll leave it here, gamers. I'll leave it here. I'll leave it there.
This is a Wendy's ass comment thread.
You got some very interesting comments, John. This is a Wendy's indeed. Thank you for the vibe. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Excellent video, though. Amazing video, right, chat? I don't know if I put on Moresty, but a good time was had by all. I'm poops. But dry Bowser, though? Don't you mean Bones Bowser?